this also is the right decision for our nation.
All right, we'll see. I'm certain it'll be very popular, but jeepers creepers, 14 months into the pandemic and we're increasing these restrictions now rather than trying to open up with a vaccine. Now, tell me about the Belt and Road Initiative in Victoria. You were one of the first politicians to say the Andrews government should scrap it. Why has it taken this move by the federal government to scrap the deal? Surely, even with federal Labor being opposed to the Belt and Road Initiative, the Andrews Labor government should have got rid of this years, or if not at least months ago.
Well, absolutely. And almost a year ago, Chris, I was the first parliamentarian to call for Daniel Andrews to cancel the insidious Belt and Road Agreement with the Chinese Communist Party. Of course, he came out and said that this was great for Victoria. Well, as we know, this is not good for Victoria. This is not good for Victorian jobs, and this is terrible for Australia. It was not in our national interest. It does not accord with our foreign policy. And so we set about the big task of enacting the Foreign Relations Bill and to make sure that we can scrutinise all agreements between state and territory governments and universities and foreign states. And of course, where they're not in the national interest, we have the power to cancel those agreements. And under Maurice Payne's leadership, that's exactly what we've done.
Well, is this going to cost Victoria in economic terms or in jobs terms? It certainly was announced as a great economic enlivener. Is there going to be any cost to Victoria at all?
Well, frankly, Chris, we saw no detail of this agreement. We had no understanding of what it meant. There was a shroud of secrecy surrounding the deal between Daniel Andrews and Victorian Labor and the Chinese Communist Party. And so we were very concerned. We've seen other Belt and Road agreements in other parts of the world impose debt-laden diplomacy on those other countries. And so we were very concerned, of course, that Chinese jobs would come first and Victorian jobs would come second, along with a lot of other national security concerns. So this is a great day for Australia, frankly, and it is a great credit to the Prime Minister, to the Foreign Minister and to our government that we have stepped in. And I say shame on Labor. It is absolutely shocking what Daniel Andrews tried to do here in Victoria. And while federal Labor formally agreed with our government and opposed the deal, there were a number of federal Labor MPs like Libby Coker and Catherine King and Lisa Chesters of the left who never stood up and opposed the Belt and Road Agreement. So I say shame on them also.
Yeah, now look, there are a couple of other agreements that have been cancelled by the federal government. One, a scientific cooperation agreement with Syria that was struck under the Kennett government, and the other, a technical training agreement with Iran. What on earth are these state governments up to? And obviously it's bipartisan. Liberal governments have done the wrong thing as well.
Well, look, that's the beauty about this regime, where all agreements are reviewed, and I think that there will be more agreements that may come under scrutiny and potentially be cancelled. But of course, we're now looking at these agreements in modern day terms. The agreement to which you referred to with the Kennett government was, I think, 1999. But of course, the decision has been made that this is no longer in our national interest. And that's what this is all about. The federal government is responsible for foreign policy. We've taken a very strong stand, particularly against Daniel Andrews. I think he was quite arrogant in the way in which he continued to pursue this insidious relationship with China. And I'm very proud of the Prime Minister and the Foreign Minister and our government, Chris, for the very strong action that we have taken in the name of Australia's sovereignty and national interest.
I just want to pick you up finally on that, though. I'm all for standing up for our interests, and I applaud this move. We're looking to get we have to expect more retaliation from China over this. But you just referred to an insidious relationship with China. We are a friendly nation with China, we're supposed to be, and it's our biggest trading partner. No, I was talking about the insidious relationship in terms of the Belt and Road Agreement between Daniel Andrews and the Chinese Communist Party. That was an insidious agreement. It was not in our best interest. Of course, we have a very important trading relationship with China. We know how important that is.
We are working very hard to have a positive relationship with China, but we want China to come through the front door when it does any deals with us. We want to make sure that they're always in Australia's interest, and that's what this particular piece of legislation is all about.
Thanks for joining us, Senator. I appreciate it.
Yeah, great to talk to you, Chris.
Liberal Senator for Victoria, Senator Sarah Henderson.